New rhetoric being pushed by not only the outlets out there funded by vegan interest groups to tell you to adopt a plant-based diet. Do it for yourself, do it for the planet, do it for those you love, whatever their latest reasoning is. There's another thing they're doing. There's new rhetoric out there, and it's diabolical, and it's not surprising in the slightest. You remember, gotta be careful how we talk about this on YouTube, even though they've assured us we are now permitted to speak about such things openly. I don't believe them. But you remember the events of 2020 and how everything just shut down and the cause of those events? You remember what the cause of that event was? And, well, they're telling us now, the plant-based advocates are, and the powers that be, are beginning to talk about how the next one of those kind of events is going to be our fault. Those of us who eat meat, because it's going to come from livestock. It's, of course, nonsense. In fact, one of the great criticisms we have of the animal husbandry practices in this country is, in fact, the almost over-reliance on immunizations and things like that. If anything, if there was going to be any kind of a problem, it'd be caused from that use. But even that's not likely in the slightest to happen. It may prove as a convenient excuse should the next kind of thing roll around and the real cause is not politically expedient for the powers that be. But now they're telling us, using fear, oh, we can't scare you with cholesterol, the boogeyman, which you and I already know. If you're doing keto or carnivore, you already know that your cholesterol levels are higher than what is considered healthy, but it's not the cholesterol that's the problem. That the plaque in your heart, in your veins, if you get it, is caused by a combination of eating a high-fat and a high-carbohydrate diet. You know that. Probably it's also caused by eating a lot of plant-based oils too, especially seed oils. A lot of all the nasty oils we tell you to avoid on this side of the nutrition YouTube. That's what causes that stuff. We know that. They're going to tell us that the next cataclysmic, earth-shaking event is going to be caused because meat is inherently unsafe. That is what they're going to tell you, folks. Keep this very short today, because I don't have a lot of toleration for this. And you and I know already that there's a great deal of deception involved in promoting plant-based diets, because the science is pretty clear. A plant-based diet's not healthy. It's not. If it was healthy, people wouldn't end up looking like that vegan influencer who passed away recently, or the broccoli doctor that Dr. Sean Perry likes to make fun of, who claims that his way of eating is the healthiest and he looks pregnant. Okay. And he claims to be fighting, keeping himself healthy by doing it. And he's not, doing something to try to correct like existing obesity, like say I am, or a number of people in the carnivore space are. This is a little different. There's a lot of deception that goes on in all of this. We're used to being lied to, I think, at this point by the people who run everything. It's the maliciousness that behind all of this that really is unsettling, because the consequences, if they get their way of forcing, trying to scare people into a plant-based diet, or scare enough people that they can take legal action to then force the rest of us into compliance, or to force the rest of us into eating lab-grown meat, which by reports does taste a little weird to some people, and is probably not all that healthy, that there are some doctors raising the alarm bells about this stuff, that this stuff is actually going to be a problem for people, because it's, strictly speaking, not the same as the meat from an animal, that it's a little different. We're used to the deception. We're used to being lied to. But this is something different. Because, like a lot of things in the broader culture, it's almost coordinated in the messaging. And always be wary of coordinated messaging. When you see out there, all of a sudden, the media outlets and the specialists in an area, their public faces for an interest, all start talking exactly about the same thing in the same way, you should be worried. That should be a sign that there is money behind this somewhere. Money or perhaps power behind this in the form of political power pushing something. Sounds a little paranoid? Well, again, after the events of 2020, there's the old adage that the people with the aluminum hats on their head are the ones who are actually the ones who've been right most of the time, consistently since 2020. But I don't know. What do you think? Do you think this latest propaganda attempt is just going to come and go, that most people aren't dumb enough to fall for this? I don't know. There's enough people out there who buy Beyond Meat, even in like where I live, in like beef country, deep red conservative America, where veganism is the butt of jokes. There's still enough people who buy this stuff out there thinking they're making the healthier choice. You think anybody will fall for this rhetoric? Let me know in the comments, please. Like and subscribe if you haven't. It does help. So to sharing this on social media, that helps too. I'm Anthony Stine, the Practical Carnivore. Thanks for tuning in.